fourth cohort. Your kids will be the fourth cohort that you graduate. So we've had a lot of experience doing this. We can't believe we're back having a freshman parent night. I feel like we just did this 4 years ago with our current seniors. So it's very exciting for us. How many of you are first-time high school parents tonight? Buckle up. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fast 4 years. And I know I have some parents here who were at our freshman night 4 years ago, and I told you, buckle up, it's going to be fast. Was I right? It goes really fast. And all of a sudden you're going to be sitting here having your senior night and ordering senior pictures and doing house and gown. So it's a fast 4 years. It's a fun 4 years, but your kids are going to work hard over the last 4 years. And Christy and I are going to be here to support them through all of that. So I'm going to talk this for a couple minutes, and I'm going to pass it off to Ms. Garcia, and then I will wrap up our time together. So our team, sorry, my voice is doing weird things. Mr. Mellon is our principal. I am your assistant principal. Ms. Garcia is your counselor. Mr. Phillips is the graduation coach, also known as the SSAP. As your students transition into their junior and senior year, if they are off track, meaning they're having some struggles, you will hear from somebody named Mr. Phillips. He works with kids to ensure that they graduate. If they kind of lose focus, he is the person that will spend a lot of time working with them. Ms. Cologne is our college and career specialist. She is an expert on all things college or technical schools. So if your kids are interested in either path, she is a great resource. Christy and I like to tell people, we're going to get your kids through high school, but once you want to start talking about the future, you need to meet with Ms. Cologne, because she can help you with all things for either one of those paths. And then lastly, Mr. Blair, he also goes by Coach TP. He is our 9th grade discipline assistant, or he will be our 9th grade discipline assistant. So if you get a phone call from someone named Coach TP or an email, he is calling you for a reason that may or may not be good news. But he is on our team as well. We're excited to have him. Okay. Ms. Marcy.
Hello, can you hear me? All right, I am Ms. Garcia. I am the current 12th grade and the 4th of the 10th grade. So there's a lot on my plate right now. It's okay. We can get through it. So I'm going to go through a lot of information. I know it's going to be a lot thrown at you tonight, but the 2 handouts is really going to walk you through everything that I'm going to go through tonight. So if you look on the side, can I borrow this real quick? If you look on the side where it tells you all of the boxes, that's really what we're going to go through. And then at the end, I'm going to go over to the other side. So where there's a bunch of boxes that say core courses, elective courses, that's what I'm going to go over right now. And the same presentation I'm going to give if your student is at Pineview, we're going to be there next Thursday. So please just kind of get all the information today, and then I'm going to go over kind of how you fill out that course card, and then when we go in next Thursday, they're going to fill out that course card with me, and I'm going to collect it that day. You can still make changes. It's okay. You can make changes. But there is a deadline for changes, so you just email me. Please be patient with me. I have over 500 students, so if I don't email you right away, just please be patient and come. So, I'm also sick, so we're going to One must be this personal finance class, and I'm going to go over that a little bit later. And then world history, U.S. history, and then government and econ. This is usually taken freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year in that sequential order. 1 credit of a fine art and 1 credit of a PE, and then 7.5 elective credits. 7.5 elective credits. And I'm going to go over each one of these very specifically. They also must pass their Algebra 1 EOC or make a concordant score with any of these tests. They must pass their grade 10 ELA FAST test or make a concordant score with any of these tests. And then the last thing is they must have a 2.000 or higher GPA. So, as you can follow along in that box, the very first box is English. There's really only 2 choices for English. So if your student is in regular 8th grade language arts, they would choose English 1. If they are in advanced and they're doing well, you can choose English 1 honors. 2 choices, English 1 or English 1 honors. If they're struggling in advanced, I would not choose honors for them. It is more difficult, so you just want to kind of be aware of your students' ability. You don't want them to struggle and their GPA get low and you're setting them up for not great stuff. So again, regular language arts, English 1, advanced would go into English 1 honors. For math, if they are in 8th grade math, they would choose regular Algebra 1. If they're in 8th grade math, making A's and B's, Algebra 1 honors. If they are currently in Algebra 1 honors, they would go into geometry honors. And if they are currently in geometry honors, they would go into Algebra 2 honors. So the majority of our 9th graders are in Algebra 1. Select few are in Algebra 1 honors, and even select few are in geometry honors, and then there's only a handful that go into Algebra 2 honors. Algebra 2 honors is extremely difficult. It is not a graduation requirement, but it does help students with SAT if college is in the future. So again, majority of our students go into Algebra 1 or Algebra 1 honors. So that's for your math selection. So for sciences, if they're in 8th grade science and they're doing okay, they're making like C's or all right, we suggest earth space science. We suggest earth space science. This gives them a little introductory to high school years. And then 10th grade, they can take biology. Not a problem at all. If they wait until 10th grade to take biology, that is okay. If they're in advanced science and they're doing well, they can take biology. If they're in advanced science making A's and B's, they can take biology honors. They can take biology honors. So really we're looking at earth space science. If they're just looking to kind of get into their sciences, they're not quite ready to jump into biology, we suggest earth space science. If they're in advanced, doing well, or in advanced at all, then we suggest they can go into biology or biology 1 honors. Again, 3 sciences are required. Usually that's done freshman, sophomore, and junior year. So that way senior year, they have less core classes that they have. I'll say that. Okay, good. Social studies. So this is that personal finance class. This is a little tricky, so I'm going to go over it kind of in detail. So if they're in 8th grade world history, then we suggest the standard personal finance. If they're in advanced, then they can go into honors, personal finance honors. This is a 0.5 class, so let me explain what that means. 0.5 means that it's not the full year, it's only taken for a semester. So that other semester is then paired with another class. So that goes into these classes, which the green piece of paper, the first 4 classes are what is paired with personal finance. So I'll kind of explain it. For one semester, they will take personal finance, and then for the second semester, or vice versa, they will take their second semester class, which could be contemporary history, sociology, or if they chose honors, they could do Holocaust history honors or African American history honors. You can also mix and match. We're not saying you must choose this pattern, but you must choose a semester class to pair with the personal finance class. And the descriptions of the classes are on that green piece of paper, and we're also going to show you a YouTube link and send out a YouTube link that our awesome journalism, class they put together a great video explaining all of the electives as well. So again, 0.5 each. One semester they must take the personal finance as a graduation requirement, and it is paired with one of the other semester classes. So they must pick two. Does that make sense to make a point? So then we move to electives. So if you turn the paper, that white piece of paper over, you can see it says English, math, science, and social studies. So I just went through their 4 core classes: English, math, science, and social studies. Our school has 6 periods. So that leaves 2 periods for electives. In my opinion, again, I have been here for 11 years. This is my 4th class that I'm graduating. In my opinion, get the hope and the fine art out of the way. I have seniors now. I am pulling my hair, getting them to get their fine art and their hope done. So my suggestion, highly recommend getting the fine art and the hope done their freshman year. Strongly suggest this. However, if they didn't do it online over the summer, awesome. That leaves other classes. So, for instance, we have AP Human Geography and AP World, which again, it goes in order in your green paper. So you can read about what those classes are. AP classes are college level classes. This is not an easy class. This is at least an hour or 2 of homework a night. It is difficult. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that this is not difficult, because it is. But it is a great AP elective to start out with, because this class teaches it, and she teaches those kids how to take notes and what to do. So if this is something your student is looking forward to, these are 2 great electives. Academies. So these are all of our academies. I don't have descriptions for every single one. However, you can always, at the bottom, there's a course description of the white handout. There's a course description link. You can always look up what the course is on that course description link. It's a very bottom where it says, view course description on the Pasco County Course Directory. So these are all of our academies and our programs that we offer here at Lake Lakes. They can also join one of those. Anything with a little squiggly line counts as a fine art. Little squiggly counts as a fine art. So you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone if your student is interested in one of these programs. So PE. These are all of the ways your student can meet their PE requirement. It's a lot of ways. One thing I will say, a lot of students come up to me and say, when I play softball, I don't know what sport every single student plays. I don't have that kind of memory. So if your student is going to meet the requirement for this, for PE through this, the 2 seasons of a sport, please, once they're done with the 2 seasons, email me and we will put the waiver in. But it does not happen automatically. I don't know. I will say, if your student earns the PE credit with the They would still need to complete an extra elective because they still need those 7.5 electives for graduation. And they wouldn't be earning a COPE credit. So that would just be a waiver. So just so you know, they have to earn an extra elective, which usually is not a problem because a lot of students come in from middle school with high school credits. But again, all of these ways, tons of ways to meet the PE requirement. Fine art. So many students take fine art during freshman year. Again, I highly recommend it. Really for my sanity. Any course on the course card, again, that has this symbol meets the fine art requirement. Some courses require after-school commitments. We tried to put that on the green piece of paper if it had after-school commitments. I know dance does, I know chorus does. They just do performances and that are a requirement for the class. So we want to make sure that you as parents know that before signing up. Prior experience is not required for band, dance, or chorus. So if they're just interested in it and they saw Wicked and they want to be, go to it, girl or boy. So that's just a little bit of the fine or practical arts. Again, these are all of the fine or practical arts that we offer. A lot, if not most of those, are on that green sheet of paper that explains the descriptions of them. I strongly suggest you go home and show your students these two. We will show a video of all of these as well, but the more we talk to the students, the more they're going to be interested in the classes and their engagement is going to be higher. So these are all of the fine arts. And 1.0 just means that it's a full year. So whenever you see 1.0, that's a full year. Whenever you see 0.5, that's a semester. And it's usually has to be paired with another semester. So world languages, we offer 3 world languages here at Land O'Lakes High School. The first is American Sign Language, which I know a lot of students at Pineview take ASL 1 and 2 online. We also offer French and Spanish. This goes higher. We have AP level, but usually students, are not at the AP level starting freshman year. So we just put up to level 3 on the freshman course card, but no, it does go up to 8. So it does go high. But 3 languages, ASL, French, and Spanish. So, 2, this is very, very important. I always get some questions about this. So 2 consecutive years of a world language, Spanish 1, for example, Spanish 1 or Spanish 2, are not required to graduate high school. So to earn a diploma, students do not need 2 years of a world language. However, if they want to go straight into a 4-year university or for the Bright Future Scholarship, they will need 2 years of the same world language. It can't be French 1 and Spanish 1. It has to be the same world language. So I'm going to say it again. They do not need it, and they also do not need community service or world languages to earn their high school diploma. It is just for if they want to go straight into a 4-year university or for the Bright Future Scholarship. And then some of our CTE pathways provide opportunities for students to get industry certifications, which I think is really, really cool. We have digital infotech. They can earn their Microsoft application certification, digital design, Adobe Photoshop, technical design, AutoCAD, which is huge if they know AutoCAD. And then our early childhood program, they can earn their certificate to then go straight into work at a daycare right after. So they can do 4 years of their early childhood program, and actually go to preschool here at school, and they can earn their early childhood professional certificate. So those are the some industry certifications that they have, or we have. Our Culinary Academy is our academy here at Land Lakes. That's why students get school choice here. Every high school in Pasco County has an academy. Ours is culinary. It is state of the art. It is, the stuff they have there is really, really awesome. So if your student is interested in that, their 9th grade year would be nutrition and food science. So they would start with nutrition and food science, then they would take culinary 1, culinary 2, and then senior year they would take 3 and 4. And they do that because they back it up, so they work actually in our kitchen, and teachers and faculty can go over and buy food, and they prepare it, and they serve it, and everything. It's like they're work different ways for 2 periods. So that's why they wait until senior year to double up on the 3 and 4. But great, great opportunity. If culinary baking, Chef Cooper is an amazing baker. She makes amazing stuff. So if that's what they're interested in, then nutrition and food science is what they would write in on that elective choice on the opposite side of that paper. So I'm going to briefly go over this. This is dual enrollment versus AP. So lots and lots of questions I'm sure you will have as the years progress of the difference between the two. So dual enrollment is when students earn college credit while they're still in high school. This is an extremely tedious process. It is not as easy as, okay, I signed up, I'm good, because we have to also do things with PHSC, and it's a lot. So, DE, they have to have an unweighted 3.0 GPA. They earn college credits if the student passes the class. If the student does not pass the class, then they are not allowed to do dual enrollment anymore. So that's why we stress, maybe not freshman year, because it's so new, it's so new, and we don't want their GPA, their college transcript, it sticks on their college transcript. It does not go away. And also the students are in charge of their schooling and everything. They do not contact parents. They do not, because they are a college student at that point. So I just want to make that super, super clear. Parents do not have access to grades because your student would be a college student. Freshmen can only take a maximum of 1 DE course per semester, and that's with, if they meet all the requirements. So they have to meet certain testing with PERT or ACT or SAT. And again, it just does scare me because I've seen a handful of students not be able to earn Fs or Ds. They wouldn't be able to do dual enrollment anymore. That starts their college transcript. I'm not trying to scare you, but I also want you to understand the severity of it. So that is DE. So there are certain testing requirements and GPA requirements in order to do dual enrollment. For AP, if your student wants to take an AP course, we highly suggest that they're doing well currently because, again, this is a very difficult class. I was saying the AP World and the AP Human, it's difficult. At least an hour of homework a night, etc. To earn this college credit, students must pass an AP exam in May, and if they earn a 3 or roughly a 3 or higher, they can earn college credit. This is different than DE. DE, there's requirements before you get in, and then once they pass the class, they earn the college credit. Not for AP. They must pass the exam in May. All exams are in May in order to earn the college credit. So they can take the class and earn the high school credit and be fine. And if they get a 1 on the exam, it does not change anything for their high school class. It's just to earn the college credit is what the exam would be. Basically said all that. So that's the main difference, in my opinion, is there are certain requirements before you get into DE, and then once you get into DE, as long as you pass the class, you get college credit. There's no specific requirements for AP except Your student really should be an AP student going into AP courses. But these are difficult classes. And then they take the exam, and that's how they earn the college credit. That's the biggest difference. And there will be more AP classes available to them sophomore, junior, senior year. We actually have a lot of AP courses that we offer here at Rainy Lakes High School. I would say one of the most because we test like crazy in May in all of the AP majors. Okay, so if you turn that paper over, where it was English, math, science, history, the little boxes. So what I'm going to do next Thursday, and if your student goes, I'm also going to Imagine, I'm going to Cruise Lake, and I'm going, yeah, I'm going all over. So I'm hitting everybody. So what I'm going to ask them to do is write in their English, math, science, and history, social studies choices, and then from their top priority, where it says elective, yes, elective choice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's their top choice? What's their second? What's their third, fourth, and fifth? So their first choice, I'm going to say again, I strongly, strongly recommend they get their fine art and their PE out of the way. I want to say that. I want to say out of the way because fine art's out of the way. But I want them to get that graduation requirement so they are not worried about finishing in senior year. You don't want that stress for them. So I'm going to have them write in. So if you want to go over that with them and then they bring it, again, if they're behind you next Thursday, I will know because you guys all have white copies and we're going to have either blue or gold copies. So I'm going to know which copy is from the parent night and then I'm going to collect the color copy. And then, again, you guys can make changes or whatever you'd like to do. There'll be a deadline. I think I put a deadline on there. Of when to email me the changes. That's basically what I want. So that's what the 4 classes and then two choices. And then we have them choose 5 because your student might not get their top choice. They are freshmen, that's why we need backups in case it's full. They might get their third, fourth, or fifth choice. I know that's hard, I know, but resiliency is okay. So I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure you guys all know that. That's why we ask 5 elective choices. 2 top, and then 3, 4, 5 is their backup options. Okay. Do you have any questions over what I just went over? We'll just start here. Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. So she said if he goes into honors and he's not doing well, is there a certain time that he can go into regular? Yes, you email me. Because I do not want your students to struggle and then them get a D or even lower when they can go into regular and make an A or a B. It is, so you email me and I will take care of that. Yes.
Can I just say one thing before we do questions? Please keep your questions like specific that could be helpful for everybody, not like my daughter, da 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 da. If you have specific questions about your child, that's when you can email us. But if it's a general question, please ask.
You would, if you're out of county, you have to go through our registrar and register over the site. Yeah. So It'll have to be over the summer. You can, because we won't have a file for you, so you'll have to, you can submit that and then give it to me, and then we'll have to make a file for you to put in the file. Yeah, just so everything is good, because you won't be automatically in our system yet. Yes. The whole course is, it's health and PE. So 2 days a week they're in the classroom learning health, and 3 days a week they're outside or in the gym doing physical activity. Yes. Sorry. No, they didn't start that now. They go on FLBS or Pasco eSchool. We prefer Pasco eSchool, but their 8th grade counselor would approve that because they wouldn't be my student yet. So talk to the 8th grade counselor. They would sign up for HOPE or personal fitness and fitness lifestyle design. But they would just do that through Pasco eSchool, and then yeah, they can start that now. Yes.
When will they find out which classes they get for electives? So do they have kind of big changes in elective they got?
No. So, sorry. So they get their schedules during.
So your schedule will come out usually the Thursday before school starts. Schools start on Mondays. We have freshman orientation. They will have access to their schedules. We will only allow a couple reasons why we would all do a schedule change. And freshmen, it's very rare for us to change a freshman schedule because what we're going to use is the paper that your kids fill out next week. Okay? Not to say that we wouldn't if there was an extenuating circumstance, but that's why we have this night tonight to share this information with you, so you can hear it before your kids hear it from us in the next couple weeks, and you guys can have those conversations. And by Christy put a deadline on, or we will post a deadline if it's not already in your paper, of when we can do schedule changes. Once we make that schedule, it'll be pretty solid unless, again, extenuating circumstances, especially as freshmen. As they get into upper classes, there's more reasons for valid schedule changes, but as freshmen, it's pretty cut and dry across the board. Unfortunately, we've all been in high school. We're going to put our juniors and seniors in all the classes that they have to graduate, and then we're going to work through everybody else. That's how it goes. Yes?
What if your child finds out a phone and or
No, you just don't use the waiver. I mean, the waiver just gets put in there. It's not a credit or anything, which is why they have to do an additional elective if that happens. So I have tons of students who play sports but did HOPE because they like the physical activity, and we just wouldn't issue a waiver, and they would just have HOPE as the. Yeah. Yes. They're 8th grade counselors. Yeah. So I would. Yeah. Yes. And then once they start here, I can always tell you. I just can't tell you because they're not my student. Yes.
If my son's already in Spanish 2, would they start Spanish all over again in high school?
No, they can go into Spanish 3 if they want to. He doesn't have to. Right. But if he wants to. Yeah.
I have 2 elective questions. The Spanish one, if they've already taken Spanish 1 and 2 in middle school, does that count for the Bright Futures?
Yes.
Okay.
As long as it's Spanish 1 and 2 and not beginning Spanish. Beginning Spanish does not count. That's middle school credit. It has to be Spanish 1 and Spanish 2.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the other question was, are they able to take HOPE this summer, and then also do PE if they want, and then will that count?
So PEs are offered 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year. If they do HOPE over the summer, they wouldn't be able to do HOPE again because there's no duplicating credits. Your kids will know that because I hammer it into their brain. But they can do, we offer team sports and individual dual sports and weight training. They can do those 10th, 11th, and 12th grade year.
Okay.
Yes.
What would you say the main differences between the honors classes and the regular classes? Would you say it's more speed content?
Both. So the difference between regular and honors, I would say the speed, yes, it goes at a faster pace. And it should get them in more depth learning. So they're going to go a little bit deeper than what the regular class would be, but it also goes at a faster pace, and it might maybe assign more homework, things like that. Yeah, so
What languages are
course number and making sure that it's high school credit, I would assume that it would, but I don't want to tell you for sure yes, because is it at Pineview? Then yes, it
So
should be.
they would already have their cover.
Yes.
Right, their language covered.
Yes, yes, yes. If it's at Pineview, I know they do ASL 1 and 2, and that counts as high school credit. Yes,
Does that also count with the grad teachers?
yes,
Oh, that's
yes.
great.
Can-
And if they, my daughter did 1.5, she has to do a half semester, so maybe in ninth grade of ASL. But she took a time off at the keyboarding, is that still considered consecutive or?
Yeah, she just needs to finish this other semester.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure when you mentioned consecutive.
Yeah, I just mean like Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, not like Spanish 1 and then French 1. Like, it's just, yeah. But yeah, it doesn't have to be like right after. I mean, it's good, because then it might not help. Yeah. Yes. The waiver is for, if they do 2 seasons of a sport, the waiver is the full credit. No, they have to, so the waiver is for 2 seasons of a sport. If they only play 1 season, they are not issued a waiver. Then marching band, then they have to do personal fitness. Where is that? Yes, it's only off and on, yes. Yes. Yes.
If they're taking a course over the summer, like, and then that would change what their schedule might be, like for a quarter course,
Yes, that happens all the time.
that's something that could be an exception for me.
Yes. I would,
Because I don't know for sure.
I would definitely need to know that. Again, no duplicate credits, so that's a very good point. If they take a class like Hope, if they sign up for it, Hope on their card, but they're like, oh no, I want to take it over summer, please email me and let me know, because then that would be duplicate credit, and that's a huge issue, and that's a perfect example of why we would change the
So
schedule.
we can email you ahead before that Thursday, so let you know.
You can?
Credit,
Yes,
anything.
yes, yes ma'am, for sure, 100%, yes. Miss Wall, it says, how do you register for the culinary academy? Is that?
It's through high school pathways, and that window closed January 21st. If you are zoned for Land Lakes High School, meaning where your home school, then there's an opportunity to still get in those classes. If we are not your home school, then that window has already closed, and it possibly could open up again if the classes are not full.
But if they're interested in it and they're zoned here, they would just put nutrition and food science on their course, and then next year they'd sign up for culinary 1, culinary 2, so on and so forth. Yes. But if they're zoned here, they would just put nutrition and food science on their course card. And they can meet their fine art with culinary and culinary 1. So if they want to stay with that trajectory, they'll meet their fine art with that. Yes. Yeah, there's band 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we like to minimize the choices that the freshmen can choose, and then they get very confused. So that's why we're like, band 3, don't do anything more. Yeah. Yes. As long as it was high school credit. So again, with the world languages, if they have done Spanish 1 and 2 or ASL 1 and 2 in middle school and it counted for high school credit, and you can know that by emailing their 8th grade counselor, then that will count as the Bright Futures 2 years as the world language. Yes, 100%. Yes. Yeah, so it's called band 3, but I promise it's the same. I don't know how to explain it, it's just band 3. It's just like what it's in our course card, but it's the first year of band. I promise. Yes. Are you Yeah, I would go ahead and fill it out, and if not, it gets thrown away. And it's a good choice.
So they choose their schedule. It's optional, for my understanding. That would probably be a big question. Is he right? But
No, that's a good point. So the question was, do students need to take an online course for graduation? No, they got rid of that graduation requirement. So they do not need an online course for graduation. That is not a graduation requirement. Yes. I'm a school counselor.
But are you, main focus for this class of 2029?
I am. Yes, they're my full class. Like I have all of the 12th graders. The only reason why I have 110th graders because our lovely Miss Joshua left. We cry every day. So we had to split that class until we hire someone new. And I'm praying that that happens. But I am solely for one class. Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna have us pull.
Okay, a couple things that I just wanted to speak about. I will start first with just a sports announcement. This is a question that we often get from incoming parents. If your child is interested in playing football, there is a meeting for freshman parents on June 2nd here in the Commons, so right where you are. Workouts for football start June 9th from 7:30 in the morning till 10 o'clock. And you must have a physical, just like middle school, if your kids play sport, you need to have a physical prior to any of that, okay? Same for volleyball, summer conditioning is going to start in June and July, the date is to be announced. It's open for anybody that wants to try out, it doesn't mean that you're on the team, it's just conditioning prior to tryouts. Tryouts will happen later in the summer, but again, you must have that physical. Coach Goodspeed is our football coach, and Coach Frazier is our volleyball coach. If you have any questions about volleyball, you're welcome to email her. And if you, she suggested following her Instagram at LOLHS Volleyball, and she will post information throughout the summer there. I don't have cheerleading information. A lot of parents ask about that as well. But if you follow the Linda Lakes High School Twitter, it'll be posted on there. And also, we'll share that out with the middle schools as much as possible too. So watch for that. Okay, a couple more things before we wrap up. As far as communication from the high school, the biggest thing I cannot stress enough is that your students, if they haven't already learned, need to learn how to check their My Student email. That is how Ms. Garcia and I will communicate with them for the next 4 years. Okay? We don't email their personal email, we email their school email. So they have to learn how to do that, if that's not something they already do. We also will communicate with parents that way. You probably do use your personal email a little bit more, but for blanket announcements to our cohort, all of it will come out through My Student. Okay?
Check and make sure on our, like on the, we have the correct email, basically, because I get a lot of bounce back, and the amount of emails that we send are a lot. It's a lot of important information, especially juniors and seniors, especially.
We do have a school Twitter that's run by Mr. Mellon, our principal. It's at LOLHS Principal. I know it's not Twitter anymore, but I still call it Twitter. So it's at LOLHS Principal. There are several Instagrams for our school. If you're an Instagram person and you just type in at LOLHS, probably 40 will pop up. There'll be like for most sports team, our booster club, our touchdown club, our student council. Pretty much every club and organization has a Twitter. So if there's something that you're interested in, I'm sorry, not Twitter, Instagram. If there's something that your kids are interested in, check that out. We will eventually have a Class of 2029 Facebook page for parents only. Okay? I will set that up after I graduate my current kids. Okay? I can't manage both. It will make me a little crazy. But I will set that up sometime over the summer, and that's just kind of spread through word of mouth. But I ask that your students not get on that. That's for you and me. that is school information only, okay? I have my own personal Facebook, but this would be a school-based Facebook, okay? And I will share information out on that starting this summer as soon as I graduate my current kids. A couple more things. I talked about email. One of the biggest things that I cannot emphasize enough is that the biggest key to success for students in high school is to come to high school and to be here every day and be here as much as possible, okay? If they're here, we can help them, right? Their teachers can teach them what they need to learn to graduate in 4 years. I cannot stress that enough, that you partnering with us to get your kids here as much as possible will ensure their success to graduate in 4 years. It's highly, highly critical. In August, we will have Gator Ground. That is our freshman orientation. I do not have a date for that yet. It is typically the Friday before they do like all the Meet the Teacher events. So we have the week of like all the Meet the Teacher fun. It's usually the Friday before that. But until the district sends us the date, I don't have that. But I will heavily communicate that out to you guys. That's about a half-day experience where your kids will come to school and they will do many things while they're here. Okay? There is also a parent session for about the last hour of that. So you'll drop your kids off in the morning, you'll leave, and then you'll come back around 11:30, and we'll meet with just you all at that time while they're having lunch and rounding up for the day. So I'll communicate that out as soon as I have that date. Just a couple other loose ends. As far as Ms. Garcia and I, Ms. Garcia handles everything academic, social and emotional, mental health for her students, okay? If you're mad about the traffic light, if you're upset or have issues with discipline, if you have a concern about a teacher, you can also email me about academics or anything like that, but that's the difference between the two of us. If you're upset about a teacher or have a discipline concern or a school-wide concern, those emails come to me. Ms. Garcia handles academics and mental health, social, emotional needs. Not that I can't, but that's kind of the differentiation between the two of us. But usually, a lot of people email both of us and put both of our names on everything, and then the right person will just respond to you, if that makes sense. Mr. Mellon sends out a newsletter every month. If you're at Pineview, I know Mrs. Warren sends one. She sends one weekly. We are not that good. We send one every month, but it will come from Mr. Mellon. And last two things. The biggest thing, I'm a mom. I've sat where you sat. I remember sitting here when my oldest started high school thinking, what the heck, right? I don't know, I don't get all this. You're gonna make it through, it's gonna be great. I also have a high schooler, so I'm walking this long with you, okay? And I have a middle schooler. So I cover all the levels. But I say all that to say, yes, I'm the administrator. Sometimes I have to be the bad guy, but I'm also a mama, and so I get how you feel, okay? So I just want you to know that about me. I'm always the mom first, okay? Last but not least, this is gonna sound cranky, but I'm just gonna put it on the table because I'm very transparent. Ms. Garcia and I are trying to graduate 538 seniors on June 5th. So right now, we are both very stressed, okay? Being very honest with you. And we are 100% committed to giving those kids our full attention between now and June 5th, okay? So if you email us, we will see it. If it's something that's urgent, we will respond. But our commitment right now is to our kids that we're going to graduate. And we promise to give you, your kids, that same commitment in 4 years. So if you email us about hope or like, should they take band or chorus, we're not going to probably answer you right now because we're pretty swamped with our kiddos. Doesn't mean that we don't care, but we'll hit reset after we graduate our current kids. So please don't think like, oh my gosh, how many like people are not answering emails? We will, but we are 100% committed to our kiddos right now, and we're going to graduate them first, and then we're going to to go to the folder where we put all your emails, and we'll start answering you.
I promise it will work out.
It will, it always does, okay? Doesn't mean not to email us. If it's urgent, we'll answer, but if you don't get a response, just know that